My name is Derek Belair. I'm co-founder and CEO of Augmentt. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about cybersecurity awareness training. It's a topic that's come up quite a bit in recent partner conversations. I'd say it's probably one of the questions I get asked the most about what products do I recommend. I would say that and backup are probably the two things that most MSPs are really interested in understanding. What are the tools that are out there? Should they be looking at? Can we recommend anyone? And I'm happy to say that we've actually forged a strategic partnership with a company called CyberHoot, which I'll tell you a little bit about. But it is all about introducing and bringing cybersecurity awareness training to Augmentt partners. So very, very excited to introduce this. The agenda real quick. I'm going to talk a little bit about why we're introducing this. I'm going to talk a little at a high level. Do your customers know about the need for cybersecurity awareness training and just how important it is to train employees as the first line of defense? I'm going to talk a little bit about why CyberHoot. How did we pick them? Why them versus everybody else that does that? What does the platform look like? What makes that solution so unique? I'm going to talk a little bit about training automation. I'm going to talk about pricing, and it's definitely one of the great perks of this product. We're going to do a quick demo with Michael, then we're going to do Q&A wrap up. So it'll be nice and fast. So why is Augmentt launching this? Well, we're launching this because security training, I feel, is one of the parts of the security stack that is often overlooked by end customers. Customers want lots of tools, and they want a solution. They want to understand how security is practiced. But I feel like a lot of times, they don't engage the employees, the actual people on the front line, as part of that security equation. And it's really funny anecdote, but our landlord in our commercial building forced us to go through this entire I think it's called WMIS training, which is all about workplace safety, and it's how to deal with ladders and where to store bleach and what happens with a fire. And yet, we take that part of training for employees, for granted. But when it comes to cybersecurity training, it's often overlooked. And to me, that's absolutely crazy. If you're going to do only one thing with regards to cybersecurity, it's train your employees first and foremost. Everything after that is to basically make up for their shortcoming or potentially their issues that they're going to bring to the table. As we all know, employees, people, we're usually the biggest weak link when it comes to security programs. You can design the best stack of security products on earth. If you've got a user that clicks on every single thing that comes into his inbox, I guarantee you there's no security product on earth that's going to stop that. I think that cybersecurity awareness training is the foundation of any modern security stack. Before anything else. If you do anything else with a customer, teach them why cybersecurity is important, how to defend themselves, and then put the products around it, to make up the difference. What we're finding, and what a lot of our partners are finding, is that cybersecurity awareness training, it is definitely becoming a mandatory part of most, if not all, regulatory compliance, certainly mandatory for cybersecurity insurance. And realistically, traditionally, cybersecurity is time consuming and it's difficult to manage. It's great to launch a series of training programs and initiatives, whether they're PowerPoints and videos. The reality is just a lot of time it's just a pain in the butt to roll it out and have it done automatically. So the reason we're doing this is, again, we believe in security and cybersecurity, and we believe that this is a key part of it. And we just want to make it easy for partners that potentially don't have a solution, or maybe don't have a solution that they're in love with, be able to get exposed to a product like this. So do your customers know, again, all of you on this call, know this already, but do your customers know that 98% of the cyber attacks that most of them are going to face is going to come from social engineering? It's very rare that you hear about Chinese hackers trying to get in through the firewall and trying to penetrate some machine at a 10 or 15 person organization. But most of it ends up being phishing email, password. It ends up being scamware. It's really designed as a social engineering effort, and again, targeting the users and the employees, because typically they're the easiest to fool. Do they know that employee training is the first line of defense? If you do anything with regard to cybersecurity, is train your employees and your team to be suspicious, to be aware, to understand what they're getting. no amount of, for example, email security is going to protect, the common sense of seeing an email and saying, this just doesn't feel right. I'm looking at the URL, that doesn't seem right. It just doesn't feel right. And being able to spot that is the first line of defense. If you can get rid of that, organizations like CompTIA will say that, by implementing ongoing training, and I mean ongoing, not just a test or just a video, but an ongoing series of training, you can reduce your security exposure by about 70%. 70% of the risk will go away by just having the employees trained and having them continuously refreshed. Now, the problem that go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, and there's a very relevant story happening right now. ScatterSpider has, using social engineering and MFA phishing, has managed to breach Caesars casino and is currently breaching all of MGM Grand's properties. So this is a very current problem. It's affecting everyone from large to small. And if your clients need validation for why we need to do this training, it's right there in the headlines.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great point. We see it all the time. Most of the breaches, most of the attacks, again, they're done so easily by just, picking apart the employees, seeing which one they can get to click a link. It's that simple. So again, we're a strong believer that having strong education campaign around security is number one. And then again, everything else is around what do you do if something happens, or how do you help protect? But the users, by far, the number one. So there's lots of options out there. Again, we didn't invent cybersecurity training, neither did CyberHoot. If you guys want, you can download a bunch of free YouTube videos. I guarantee you there's a million PowerPoint online. There's lots of enterprise solutions. That the training is out there, right? Everybody is trying to preach the training and delivering that content. The problem is not, are there free videos that explain why you shouldn't, pick up in the parking lot a USB drive and then be curious and plug it into your computer? The problem is a lot of the free videos and the PowerPoints, they require a trainer to be there to sit down with people. So if you want to create a cybersecurity training program, I'll tell you, I'll point you in the right direction for all of the videos and everything that you want, but it needs to be, in this model, it would need to be instructor-led, which, let's face it, not a lot of people have the time and energy to roll out. Enterprise solutions, they tend to be difficult to manage and they tend to be expensive. And by difficult to manage, I just mean very time consuming. They're not built for MSPs. Most of the solutions we looked at, and trust me, we've looked, I think, at every one of them. They're not designed for MSPs, and they tend to be, again, difficult for an MSP to roll out without having to babysit. And I'd say most of them, the compliance reporting is sorely lacking. It's difficult to not just get the data about compliancy, but enforce compliancy. Make sure that the users, are I wouldn't say hounded, but are gently reminded that they need to do this training and have that cadence be done automatically. Again, if every employee was keen to do training and signed up right away and they loved it, there wouldn't be a need for products like this. The reality is it's difficult, and it's never the 90% of the employees. 90% of the employees will do the training one way or the other. It's the 10 or the 5% that just will not do it. They just won't sit down and do it. And guess what? They're the ones that are most likely to be targeted. So cybersecurity awareness training, it's like a chain. It only works if everybody is doing it, if everybody is signed on. It's got to be fun. It's got to be quick. It's got to not take a lot of time, because most employees, let's face it, they don't get up one morning thinking, geez, I can't wait to do that training module or take that quiz. So it's got to be something that is just an ongoing process, a real set it and forget it. So why CyberHoot? We looked at a lot of different companies, and what we found is that CyberHoot had a great platform that was designed specifically for the MSP. So this, the MSP business is not an afterthought for these guys. This is how they started. It's incredibly cost effective, and I'll show you in a minute. And I mean incredibly cost effective. It's engaging content, minimal management required on your part, no management required on the end user's part. It's got great reporting. And again, it's a company that's focused 100% on security training. What you guys will find is there's probably a lot of companies that say we have a cybersecurity training program, we have a product, it's an add-on, but you could tell the content is not refreshed. It's stale, it's not engaging. And again, as you guys know, if you're trying to teach employees anything, you got to keep this stuff current and you got to make it relevant. A lot of the cybersecurity awareness training stuff that we did see was very enterprise focused. And so the use cases that they talked about really didn't make a lot of sense. Whereas this stuff is built for the MSP and targeting this small, mid-sized organization. So all of the example, all of the quizzes, very relevant. The beauty of this solution, it's a set it and forget it, right? So basically, you get unique monthly cybersecurity awareness training that gets sent. And again, it's unique. So it's not just refreshing the same old stuff. There's quarterly education with what we call positive outcome phishing testing, which is really, really interesting. Again, not just training in general about cybersecurity, but targeting phishing specifically. The user synchronization, there's a couple of ways to do it. You can connect through Azure AD through the Graph API, and actually it will import all of the users and the companies that you have. Or you can basically just run an export out of Augmentt with the the employee export report, and then just load it directly into the product. So if you don't want to connect yet one more thing to Microsoft environment, just export the employee list from Augmentt, load it into here. There's also non-compliance management escalation, meaning if employees are not doing the test, a manager can be notified that, hey, so-and-so is still lacking. They're about 30 days off sync. And again, it's got automated compliance, so it gets done automatically. You don't need to push anything out. It's a schedule that's rolling. And it also will deliver you some dark web reporting via email on the employees. So again, it's a nice little add-on to kind of help round out that solution. The compliance is great. So the way it works is you get, you get reminded up to 3 times on emails for completing assignments. On month 1, the email will announce a new 5-minute assignments. The assignments are nice and short. And it's not just sending out a test. You'll see a video, you'll see some information, and then you'll see a quick quiz. So again, it tries to make it, something that is very participative, something that's engaging. On the 7th of the month, you're going to get reminders that get sent out for the employees that have yet to finish. On the 14th, again. And you'll also get a weekly manager compliance report sent to whoever you want, like HR or whoever is responsible. You as an MSP or the customers can run reports. And again, Michael will show you what that looks like. So again, at a glance, you can see across your customers, across individual customers, what is the compliance status, who's done what, and who's lacking. So again, I'll say, this is an important part of building a security stack. It's often overlooked as part of the stack. What you'll find is if you've got a program like this that's running on an ongoing basis, you're going to get a lot fewer incidents. I'll say that you're also going to identify who are the users that are doing the training and who's likely the cause of the incident. So you'll be able to understand who potentially needs a bit of remediation work. Everything is 100% automated. It's a great way to retain customers. So again, IT contracts with an ongoing cybersecurity awareness training tend to renew much more than people that are just purchasing a tool of stack behind the scenes, but nobody is engaging with it. So again, cybersecurity awareness training will keep you, at the top of the mind of the security practice with your customers and the employees, increasing the stickiness, right? Nobody wants to rip this stuff out and start all over again. It's great for profits. It's a very profitable solution. I'll talk to you about the pricing in 2 seconds, but again, it's just a great way to add, for pennies, add this to your stack and really start to roll it out. And the gamification and the company risk score, really helps, again, with having those meaningful conversations with the customers. The pricing, it's $199 a month for a site license, and that includes 2,500 seats across unlimited amount of customers. So again, there is, think about it, for $199, you can cover all of your customers immediately with this product. It's, again, super simple to roll out. You register the users and you just set the cadence, and then it just starts. So very, very easy. It's month-to-month commitment. So again, this isn't something you need to sign up for long-term if you don't want to. If you've got a customer that just wants to test it out with you, very, very simple. And we're also announcing a 10% discount for the first 20 MSPs that sign up before the end of the month. So if you're interested, certainly hit us up in the chat. We'll be more than happy to get you on a quick demo. You can try it for yourself if you want. All right. So Michael, why don't you give us a quick view of this thing?
Yeah, absolutely. And, kind of like Derek was mentioning whenever he was talking about the product, it is super simple to set up. One of the easiest products that I have seen as far as, set up and then they're off to the races. So actually, if you can just stop sharing your screen so I can share mine, we'll get started.
Perfect. So stop sharing. There you go.
Thank you. All right. And let me just make this a little bigger. All right. So Well, first off, let me just start off with part of the demo that I'm not going to be able to show you guys is how I got in here. So it is a passwordless approach. Now it's still secure login, where if I go to the CyberHoot page, I'll put in my email address. I get an email in my inbox with the link. I click on the link. It then takes me back to another page where I have to authenticate using the Authenticator app. After that, I'm in, but it's just one less password to worry about. So one less thing for you guys to have to remember or put into your password manager. But now that we're in here, like Derek said, it's designed for MSPs. So I would have a list of all my customers. I just have 2 accounts in here right now, but I could view any of my client accounts, drill down into them, which we're going to do in just a moment. But I want to dip into the partner dashboard first and just go over a couple things here. Well, you can have as many site admins as you like. So anyone on your team that you want to be able to administer CyberHoot, you can add them in here pretty quickly and easily. There is an integration with Gradient for billing, and then you can also customize the dashboard. So if I wanted to go in here and make changes, add my own logo, add my own branding, whatever the case may be, I can do it quickly and easily. And once I have kind of designed the platform to my liking, then we can start to get into adding customers. So let me just get into that now. So we'll just say this is the webinar customer, and the support email is, let's see, it's me. Next thing we'll do is determine the company manager who can receive the reports that come out of CyberHoot, and is the one that would be holding the employees accountable whenever they do receive those notifications if they haven't been taking their assessments. So we'll just say manager@email.com. Oops, that's their name. Anyway, manager@email.com. It won't let me do it here. Let me just quickly do that. So we can choose when to start the training. So if it's something that they wanted to start rolling out in October, like the 1st of October, we can go in here and choose when the trainings will start going out to the employees. So that way they have time to get the employees prepared and let them know that this is going to start happening. And then you can choose how frequently the trainings get sent out, whether it's monthly, weekly, ludicrous speed, where it's once a day, or you can just have it set up where it's all at once, and then they can take the trainings as necessary. You can enable welcome emails, so that way the users understand what's going on, and they see that they're going to start those trainings soon. And then you can brand this, which a lot of tools allow you to brand it, but specifically for cybersecurity training, it's nice because either A, they're going to see your logo on that branding or on that on those emails that they receive, and they're going to say, oh, that's the logo on my IT guy shirt, because that's what most end users probably refer to you guys as, is their IT guys. But anyway, they'll see that logo, they recognize it, or since this is client specific at this point, you could put their logo on it. So that way it looks official. It's their company document that has their logo on it. It's asking them to do that training. So it might make it a little bit more relevant, and it might kind of push them along to doing the trainings a little bit sooner. And then set up the client. Once the customer has been added, you're ready to go. So we'll drill down into one of my existing customers here. And well, first off, there are kind of these badges that the customer can earn as they go through their training. So this is still a brand new client. They're only 13%, so they're still a hatchling. So they have a little red badge, but as they go through, they can get silver and gold. So it's kind of like that gamification. I want to get that gold badge before Judy and HR gets it. So regardless, it's like I said, it is gamified. Once again, like Derek said, there's videos, there's trainings, there's kind of phishing campaigns that can go out, and you can track you can track their progress on here. So I can see, we're only at 50% on the introductory video. So obviously we need to get going on some of these trainings. Something else that I think is really cool about this is that, yeah, I can see that these trainings haven't been done yet, but I can even do like a mock training, and the end user can do this as well. And so a lot of times the cybersecurity awareness training, or really any type of safety training, the users, they probably don't want to do it. And they're afraid, oh, what if I fail? I'm not a computer person. I might not pass, and then I'm going to get in trouble. And with CyberHoot, that's the goal, is not to shame someone for not doing well on these trainings. Is to actually train them and to teach them on what they should be looking for. So they can go in and practice these tests at any time. So like this one, this 2B payment declined, hop into it. And it just lets me know that this is a simulation. These are some of the things that you're going to want to look out for. Okay, great. Let's get started. So And then it walks you through this entire phishing email. And then you're supposed to identify whether or not these different items look safe. So, this one, it's coming from Tubi. All right. However, my mouse over it, accounts at tubi-tv-streaming.com. If I was an end user, maybe I'd say, yeah, that looks legitimate to me. But what's helpful is they have this little button here that they can look over this and see, all right, is this appropriate? Does it look like a legitimate email address? Is it coming from the right domain? Does it a decent looking user? Are there misspellings in here? So, I mean, I know that that doesn't look legitimate, but I'm just going to play end user and say, yeah, this looks safe. All right, let's move on. So payment decline, action needed, exclamation point. Well, first off, I'm pretty sure Tubi's free, but then also it's one of those things with phishing attacks is that there's a lot of times like that call to action, or like they're trying to scare somebody. So it's, action needed, exclamation point, payment decline. It's scary. So you know what? This does not appear to be safe here. So we'll move on. Valued Tubi customer doesn't have their name in it. Once again, they can see if it says sir or madam, whatever, that's typically a phishing. So we're going to say nope. Grammar. This is the one, and this is something else too, like with phishing, is that, in the past, you could tell a phishing email. The grammar was terrible. But now that there's ChatGPT and hackers are getting smarter, the grammar part's not as reliable, not as much of an indicator anymore, but still, it's still relevant, at least for now, until everyone starts using ChatGPT. And I can see there's a misplaced comma, there's no period, so nope, does not look safe. On this one, once again, we're looking for that call to action or the scary email, and this is payment information ASAP. If you want to be able to continue watching TV, failure to do so, well, your account will be locked. That's not good. And then last thing, update payment information. Does this link look safe? tubitv.com/sign-in. Yeah, maybe. As an end user, I might click that. So yeah, why not? And then we'll hit submit. And once again, this is not being tracked yet. This is not something that they're having to worry they're going to get graded on and get in trouble. So now they can see, all right, so I was wrong on the first one, but the rest of these I got right. So I'm prepared. I know what I'm looking for. Now I feel comfortable with actually taking the test. And I can see, I got an 83, I passed. So I'm ready to go. So once again, this is a simulation, but that way the user can feel comfortable before they take the test. So that way now, all right, I took the simulation, I'm great, I'm good to go. Let's do this. So that was just one of the phishing ones. And then once again, like Derek said, there's also videos, same thing. I can go in here, I can simulate the training, I can watch the video. And then after watching the videos, I start the quiz, takes about 5 minutes, they're done. And then going back to what Derek said earlier as well, if someone hasn't taken the test the first week, they'll get a reminder email. They haven't taken it the second week, maybe another reminder email. The third week, that reminder email goes to both the end user and their boss, but you can also go in here and go ahead and send that their assignment out to any users that have not completed their training. And then really the last thing that I'd point out in here is also going back to what Derek mentioned earlier is the reporting. So you can generate reports. These reports can go out either to just yourself, to the client, choose who to receive those reports. You can download the report, email it out. Like I said, to whoever needs to receive that, I can go in here and say, it's to myself, to Adam. He's the guy at the client site that I want to send it to, or actually, no, he's not. He's another technician. Aurelio's the guy at the client site, and go ahead and send out that report. And then the absolute last thing that I'm going to point out in here is just, well, actually a couple of things. Is first off, you can schedule the reports. So, I mean, you can go with weekly reports, monthly reports, choose when they go out. Once again, who they go out to. But Derek mentioned adding users. So there's a couple of different ways that you can add the users for the customer. Now you can do a Microsoft integration, which, pretty straightforward. But what's really cool is you've already probably done your Microsoft integration with an Augmentt. Maybe you've already gone into the import settings in Augmentt. You've cleaned up the list. You only have those licensed users, only the accounts that you want to have an Augmentt. Well, just export that user list from Augmentt, import it into CyberHoot, and you're done. You're ready to go. Those users are here. You can start them up and get them going on the training. So once again, super easy product to use, super easy product to set up for the client, super easy product for the client to be able to use to train their employees on phishing and how to spot phishing campaigns. So I'll hand it back over to Derek and we'll wrap things up.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, so let me just do this here. So one thing I also wanted to mention is the UI. You're able to change the color schemes. You're also able to upload your logo. You can do that at a global level, or you can do it on a customer by customer level. So you can put the customer's information, their colors, their logo in there. There's also an API to be able to access the information about compliancy. So if you guys are using a product, either a reporting solution or you're using a QBR solutions like a Cloud Radial or any of that, at an MSP level, you can basically get your own API key in this product, make the API calls to get the data about compliancy at an individual level or at a company level, send all of that to your QBR platform. So again, just another nice way to ingest the data. That's something we don't see a whole lot with other solutions that we looked at. So guys, we've got about 2 minutes left. I think I've answered most of the questions that were in the chat. If you guys are interested in booking a demo, just follow this, click on this URL or scan the QR code, I should say. It'll take you to a platform demo, but you'll be tagged as somebody that is interested in the CyberHoot. Chances are you're going to get the same demo again from Michael. Because it is really that simple. Setting it up, getting it started, it is super, super easy. And again, the key with this is it's set it and forget it. So you load the users, you decide the cadence, you say who needs to get the report, where the escalation goes, where the reports are to be sent and at what frequency, and that's it. And for the year, the training is going to go out once a month. You're going to get the phishing going out once a quarter. It's all automated, and really you just consume the report to say, one, we are following a cybersecurity awareness training. That's what the customer needs to prove to either regulatory compliance or regulatory bodies or cybersecurity insurance. And it's a conversation you can have with your customers whenever you're meeting up with them, whether it's once a month or once a quarter, to just say, hey, listen, we've rolled this out. Jenny and Peter, they're the worst offenders. They don't do any of this. Like, do we need to do some remedial work? What's happening? The rest of the company is all fine. So we need to be very careful about those two, for example. All right, guys, thank you so much for taking the time. Have a great rest of your day, and reach out to any of us if you got questions. All right, thank you.
Guys, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Bye.